What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video for you guys. Alright, so real quick, hey, I told you I would start making some more videos here. This was something I've been wanting to make for a while just because, I recently took my CCNA, passed my CCNA, and I found subnetting to be the easiest thing on the test. And I think it's because of what I'm about to show you guys. So, yeah, first I'm going to show you what to do on the CCNA test, and then after I'm going to teach you how to subnet, or teach you how I subnet. But yeah, guys, let's just get on to it. As you can see here, I have good old Notepad open. Let me go ahead and maximize my Notepad. That way you can see. But yeah, let me real quick show you guys what to do for your CCNA test. Alright, so this is what you should do for your CCNA test. Go to your web browser, type subnetting host chart. Which one did I use? I think I used this one. Alright, so memorize this, man. It's pretty simple to memorize. Let me show you the pattern here real quick. So hopefully you can see that, but pretty much what I did is, before the test, I took my test at home. So you memorize this chart. You don't have to memorize all of it. You can memorize it till /30, or you can even do /32 and then /31. But /30 is fine because you can see a pattern here. You can see here the host just doubles, or not doubles. Well, yeah, it just doubles. So 4, so it just doubles to 8. 8 doubles to 16, 32, etc., etc. So, the mask will go down, and then each time the hosts will just double. There's no changing this. So just be sure to Google this chart, and then, when the test starts, you can't have any of this up. Go ahead, open the whiteboard up, type /30, /29, 28, 27, 26. I did just I think /21 or 20. But you could go to whatever you want to do. And, just type in 4, 8, just keep doubling it. That way, your subnetting questions should be easy, guys. Because for the most part, you don't need to be doing hardcore subnetting on the test. It just wastes time. And, the test, you can't spend too much time doing that stuff. So do this, man. Just Google this chart, write this down. And you could write the net mask and the number of subnets. I didn't write the number of subnets, but there's always a pattern with this. So as you can see, this doubles. And then with this, the net mask, pretty much, so you have to know binary to kind of understand this. But this is just adding, so a /30 looks like this. Hopefully you can see. This is what a /30 looks like. So I didn't realize this till after I bought CCNA, or maybe a little bit before I took the CCNA. Oh, it was before. So I didn't realize this, but the /30 the 30 just means 31s, for example. So there's 31s, 29 is 29 ones, etc. But when you add all of this up, so you see the net mask here. The 255, this is going to be equal to 255, 255, 255, and then this one is going to be equal to 252, because if you know binary, this is 1, and then this is 2, so this is -3. So there's a pattern, guys. So I don't think I wrote this down. It's pretty easy to just write the ones out, and then just add these real quick if I had to. I can't say what was on my test. But I would say you should memorize that at least. Memorize, the /30 just means 31s. So whatever whack you have, that just means that amount of ones. And then, the net mask is just the binary count. So if you don't know binary, an IP address pretty much is 4 octets. Each octet is 8 bits. This is the octet, and then each bit is, this is 1 bit. This is 1 bit. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I don't want to go over it too much because this video is kind of, you should know that already. But if you don't, there's plenty of good binary videos. This is super easy, trust me. But pretty much, left to right, from right to left, it just doubles. So you start with 1, 2, 4, 8, all the way up to 128. So that's pretty much it, guys. And when you add all of this up, it's equal to 255. So yeah, so this is a subnetting video. Do that for your CCNA, you should be good. But if you want to learn how to subnet, stay tuned, because in 5 seconds, I'm about to teach you how to subnet, man. All right, start now, I'm going to teach you how to subnet. So this is a good website that I used. It's called subnetipv4.com. To be honest, I just look up IPv4 subnet practice, and this is like the first website that comes up. So there's a super easy trick to subnetting and finding all of this. So my hope is that this video is the only video you have to watch to learn how to subnet. At least CCNA level, at least to find all of this. So yeah, let's get to it. So pretty much all I'm going to say here is you got to find a magic number. Remember that word, magic number. Remember that those 2 words is magic number, man. Magic number. Say it with me. Actually, don't say it out loud, because if you have other people in your house, they're going to think you weird as hell. But memorize those words, man. Magic number. And the magic number is in the subnet mask. So remember that as well. But I'm going to show you how to do this quick. All right, so here is one problem we have. We have to subnet this. 215.59.48.231/27. So how the hell are we going to subnet this? Well, I'm going to show you now. Now we're going to find the magic number. So pretty much when you subnet, when you do stuff like this, you have to write out the IP address in binary. I don't feel like doing that math, to be honest. Damn, I'm going to have to do it. All right, I kind of cheated. I Googled all these numbers. I didn't feel like, hey, I don't feel like doing all that math right now. I just got off of work. It's Friday night, ready to relax. So yeah, so here we have the IP address in binary. Now I'm going to show you a trick. So essentially, how you do this from the start is you have to match the subnet mask. So you have to write down the subnet mask. So let's write down the subnet mask, which is, that's 24, 25, 26, 27, rest is zeros. So the way we do this starting out is we have to, write down, you see the IP address, these, whatever, the easiest way of saying this, I think, is you have to match the ones from the IP address and the subnet mask. So these, you would write down 11, oops, 11, that's 0, 10, 111, that's 00111, 011, 011, 000, oops, and then 111, 00000. So we would have to do this, and that's how we find our host, or our network, I'm sorry. That's how we find our network, is we match the ones, and we just write down whatever matches. So essentially, we wrote these two ones because there's ones at the beginning, that's a 0, and so forth. I really hope you understand, and I hope I'm not being confusing. I hope, since I'm using a notepad here, it's not, causing any issues. But if you notice a pattern, we all have all ones here in the subnet mask because it's a /27. So it's going to be 255.255.255 at least. So I think this part is pointless to do because, it's just going to be the same as the IP address. So all I'm saying is we know for a fact that these three numbers are going to stay the same because of the subnet mask. You know, we don't have to write down the IP address. We don't have to match the ones and the zeros. We don't have to do any of that because we know it's a /27 subnet mask. There's going to be 27 zeros. 27 ones. And whatever one matches with the IP address, we just write that down. It's going to be exactly the same for these 3-bit octets. So how I would do this, I see a /27, I'm going to say, okay, it's going to be 215.59.48 at least. So if this was a /20, for example, let's say this was a /20, we would know for a fact it's going to be 215.59 because a /20 is 255.255, and then the next one is not going to be a 255 because, but we know that those two octets are 255 with the subnet mask. So we don't have to mess around with those numbers at all. We leave these numbers alone. This was a /8. We would know 215 is going to be left alone and it's going to stay for a fact. If it was a /4, to be honest, like I haven't seen that yet, but we would obviously know, okay, we're gonna be messing with this number because it's gonna be different. The subnet mask is not 255 in that case, but in this case it's /27. So we know 215, 59, and 48 is gonna stay the same. Again, because of the subnet mask, 255.255.255 dot something. We can't mess with 255, man. We gotta leave them alone. Anyways, so that's the first trick, guys. So let's find the magic number real quick. We just have to write the last part in binary. So we have 3 255. So that's what in subnet mask language. What whack is that? Let's see if you can guess. All right, time's up. Hopefully you paused the video and guessed. Oh, a slash. We know 3 255s is a whack 24. So how many more ones do we need? We need 3 more ones, guys. 3 more ones. 25, 26, 27, and that's it. And then we just fill the rest with 0. We don't have to, but I like to do it so I can see exactly where the magic number is. Just make sure I got it. I do. So the magic number is just the last one. This is the magic number. So this is the magic number, guys. And this is, I think, 32. Let's see. So this is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So the magic number, guys, let's write that down. It's 32. That's all we need. All we need is the magic number. All right, so first question is, what is the network? So look here, guys. This is where it gets a little more complicated because we have the IP address. This is the target IP address. It could be somebody's computer, for example, whatever, but it's somebody's IP address. So we have to find what network this IP address resides on. And that's where we use the magic number. So the magic number decides where the network sits. So pretty much, I hope I'm explaining this in a good way, but the target IP address is 231. So what we're going to do with the magic number is we're going to keep doubling it. Let me open calculator. We're going to keep doubling the magic number until we fall between 231. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So 32 plus 32. So anything between that, doesn't fall within, 231 doesn't fall within that. So we're going to keep going. 32, no, 32, 32, plus 32, still no, still not there yet, so plus 32. All right, so we're at 224. By looking at the number, I already know plus 32 is going to be, more than 231. But this is where we stop. We have our address. It's going to be this, 224. I hope. It's been a while since I did this, so please bear with me. Hopefully, it's the right answer. What do we get? We got, let me open the calculator. 224. Yes. So, how the hell did we get this number again? We found the magic number. All we did, guys, we just kept adding 32 plus 32 plus 32 until we got to a number where we knew plus 32 was going to be more than 231. So what's 32? 256. There it is, guys. That's it. That's the number right here. So this is actually a little harder, guys, because 256 doesn't exist in binary. But we'll get to that, guys. Anyways, so now we have to find the first host. The first host, just keep this in mind, it's 1 above the network address. So what's going to be 1 above the network address, if you can guess? All right, hope you guessed, hope you paused. But as I said before, for now we're going to leave these alone because of the subnet mask. All we're going to do is mess with this for now. Just add 1 to this, guys. So as I was saying, we're just going to add 1 to this. That's the first host. So let's see, 215, 59, 48, 225. Correct. So here's what it's going to get hard. So it gets hard around the last host, broadcast, and the next subnet. Usually I do the next subnets after the first host. It just makes it easier for me. So let's try to find the next subnet. This is why I said it's going to be hard, because 256 doesn't exist. So I think in this case we're going to have to increase this. So let's give it a try. Let's see what we get, man. 215, 59, 49. And then we have to start with 0 to 32. So let's go here, check. Yes. So so I know I said before we're going to leave these alone, but since this went above 255, we had to, fuck with this one. But yeah, we're just going to the next network here. The next subnet, which is the next network. But this is why I do this first, because it's easy to find the broadcast and then the last host. But real quick, how did I get the next subnets? Let me go back to the calculator. Remember, we added 32. So let's say, for example, we'll do another problem, but if, it landed on a lesser number, that would be where the next subnet would start, if that makes sense. So if it landed, let's say, for example, 230, then the next subnet, well, not in this case, let's say 235, then the next subnet would start at 235. Yeah, so let's find the broadcast. I'll do broadcast and then last host, because the broadcast is going to be the last IP address that's available below the next subnet. So essentially, you're just going to subtract 1 from the next subnet, and then you'll find whatever your broadcast is. So in this case, what do you think the broadcast is going to be? 215, 59, 48, 255. Because that's what we got, guys. We got 255. 255 falls within the range of 8-bit binary. So let's check this. And then last host, -1. The last host is always the one beneath the last subnet. So the one beneath the last subnet, the last IP address, the one beneath the broadcast. Sorry about that. 254. What the hell am I doing? So 254, guys, is going to be the last host, the last usable IP address. So you can't use this IP address as a host. All right, so we got all of them. I hope you understand. We're going to do another problem. Don't worry. You know, this is good because it's /17. So, you know, it'll get a little more challenging, but it's the same exact thing, guys. So let's go ahead and do what, I'm going to go a little faster this time. Let's go ahead and I'm not going to do any extra. I'm just going to do what I usually do and explain it, try to explain it. So we see a /17. We know /17 is at least, you know, we're going to at least leave these two alone because it's going to be 255. That 255. Two 255s is a /16 or whack 16 if you say that. I don't really say that, but you know, some people do. So it's going to be at least this. We're going to leave these two alone. So a /17 is going to be a 1, and then the rest is going to be zeros, guys. This is just, let me write this out so you guys kind of understand more. But 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the /16 we were talking about, which is 16 ones. That's the 17th one, and that falls on 128. So we know this IP address right here, this number is what we're going to be messing with for now. We're looking at this one. How did I get this? What am I doing? Guys, what am I doing here? So what did we do last time? Remember, we got to find the magic number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the magic number here is the last one. This is going to be 128. And if you remember, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. If you do not know your binary, please look up a binary video. One day I'll make one. For all the, you know, binary newbies out there, it's okay. I was a newbie back in the day. You know, we all got to start somewhere. So essentially, it's going to be 0 to 128. Because, I mean, a network has to start somewhere. It has to start at 0. So, you know, 128 times 2. Before I do that, we can see this does not fall within 0 and 128, by the way. So let's go to the next one. 128 times 2, 256. So this obviously falls between that. So we know our network. What's our network going to start at, guys? 163. About 134. Can you guess? Oh, not that one. This 128. 128. And then this is just, you know, we're leaving this alone, but it has to be 0 because, you know, 0. That's the network. This is going to be the network, guys, because we're not even looking at this right now. Let's check. So now we're going to find the first host. Like I said, this is going to be a little more difficult just because we're doing a, you know, a different subnet here. But, you know, it's the same concept. We're just going to add 1. So 163.134. This could be confusing because I said, you know, we're going to leave this alone. But as you remember, if I bring up that chart, oh man, did I close it? If I bring up that chart here, you can see a /17 has room for 32,768 hosts. So that's a lot of hosts, man. That's a lot of hosts. So this is going to actually stay at 128 for our first host because there's so many hosts. We can't, you know, increase this by 1. 1, guys. We're going to increase this one. 1 after the network. Add 1 to the network. Remember that. So let's check. And remember, let's go to the next subnets. So this is 256. Remember, that happened last time. So what should we do here? Well, we're going to have to do 163.135. Remember, because we can't go above 255, so we have to increase the one before it. 135, 0, because we're starting new. And what do you think this number is going to be, guys? We're starting new. Let's go to 0. Let's see if it's right. Man, I'm a dummy, man. I got that wrong. I was like, what? I realized I put that in last host, man. And I'm just copying this. Ah, man, I need to get some coffee. I got up so early. So 135.00. Let's check. There we go. There we go. I was like, what? No way, that can't be. That can't be. But let's go to the broadcast. -1, guys. We just subtract 1 from here. After the next subnet, we're just gonna subtract 1. Subtract 1. We know the broadcast address now is gonna be something .255. This is actually why it gets confusing, guys, because the broadcast address here, you know, it's getting more complicated. We have to mess around with more numbers. We have to really pay attention when it goes, you know, to the slash, you know, like 17s, for example, in this case, you know, especially, you know, class A, which is, you know, like single digits. We have to pay attention. So the broadcast, in this case, it's going to be 255.255 because that's the highest we can go. And the last IP is always broadcast. The very last is broadcast, guys. So that's what the broadcast is. That's the highest we can go within this entire network. That's the highest we can go. How did we get there? So remember 255, we got 255 here. Whoops. But you're asking like, why is this one 255? Well, that's because that's the highest they can get. The broadcast is like the highest of the highest you can even get before moving to the next network. Which is why I said, you know, just subtract 1 from this one. In this case, you know, we're doing it to both of these. But hopefully you catch my drift. Please comment. Please, you know, let me know if you have any questions. You know, I want to help you succeed in your career, get your CCNA. Please tell me if you're confused, and I'll try my best to explain in the comments and maybe even make another video. But let's go to the last host. Last host, remember, we're just going to subtract 1 again. But we have to pay attention. Remember, we have to pay attention because this is a slash 2017. So this can actually stay at 255. And then this would be 254. That's why we have to pay attention, because at the same time we have to think like, okay, you know, this is -1 from the broadcast address. That's the last host always, -1 from the broadcast address. -1 is going to be just, you know, subtract from here. We're not going to subtract from this, because if we did this, we would have like, man, I don't even know how many hosts available after this one. You know, maybe like a couple hundred. I'm not even sure. I don't know the math right now for that. But, you know, we're just going to subtract from this. We have to kind of think about what we're doing here. So let's check this. And that is correct. We're going to do one more, guys. And then, you know, I'm going to end the video. I don't want it to go too far. Let's do a harder one. You know, get into the single digits. So it's a /8, guys. 8s. And the rest is just going to be all zeros. Imagine, just pretend I put the dots and stuff. So we know we're going to leave that alone. And the rest is 0. So what am I doing? Whoops. The network address is actually going to be this. All right, next we have to find the first host. So that should be easy, 51. What do you think it is? Remember, we have to do the lowest of the low. The lowest of the low is always the last octet, guys. Remember that. So 0, 0, 1. Let's just try it. Yeah, correct. Next subnet. So what the hell is the magic number, man? Like the next subnet. This, okay, /8 might be a little too easy just because it falls perfectly. Kind of like a /24 or a /16. We don't have to do too much math. So maybe I'll do one more after this. Maybe like a /10. But we know the next subnet, you know, in my opinion, there is no magic number. In my opinion, there is no magic number in this case. So let's guess. What do you think the next subnet is? If I had to guess, it's going to be 52000. I'm just going off of this right here. I mean, there's no magic number. This is like perfectly clean. This is a clean, like subnetting question, because it should be, you know, just looking at the numbers, you know, there's no magic number. We know we're going to leave 51 alone because it's a /8. So we can guess like, okay, maybe the entire network is just going to be, you know, because if we look at the chart, we can see like damn, it doesn't even go to this number. It's probably a shit ton of hosts you can have, like in the hundreds of thousands. So, man, like, yeah, that's what I'm assuming. So let's just check. Okay, so the broadcast is going to be, and that flight, broadcast is going to be a little more challenging. Let's say like 51. Actually, what would you think it might be? Remember, it's going to be the last of the last that you can ever use. So if I had to guess, it would be all 255s. Because that's the last of the last we can ever use. We can't assign this to any host because it's reserved for the broadcast, guys. Let's just check. All right, cool, correct. So -1, we can probably assume it's going to be 51, 255, 255, 254. Because, you know, just -1. That was a little too easy. I think let's just try like a /10, something like that. All right, this should be a little more challenging. This is the last one. Hopefully you kind of got the drift. You know, if you want to exit the video, you can. I hope, like, please tell me if I should change my teaching style. I try to make things as simple as possible, but, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm new to this, so I want to know, like, if I'm doing a good job. If there's anything I could change, just let me know. But yeah, anyway, so in this case, we have a /10. Remember what I said. Anything with all ones in the subnet mask, we just leave it alone. So what do you think? How many ones does a /10 have? 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after the 8th one, we have to put a dot. 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our subnet mask. I don't feel like writing the other ones. I'm just putting the 0, 0. Let's just do that. Just imagine these are 8 zeros each. So, of course, we're going to leave 116 alone with the network address. We could find the magic number here. The last one. That's a 64. Remember, binary. So this has to fall within 64. So between 0 and 64, that's higher. So if I had to guess, it's just gonna the IP address of the network like off the top of my head, like I already know that 89 is between 64 times 2, which is 64 and 128. 89 is between that. I know already. So the network 64. 6400. Again, I know that because 89 doesn't fall between 0 and 64. 0 plus 64, you have to start at 0, as you can see. But 89 is between 64 and 128. I already know that. So we're just doubling the magic number always to find a network address. And once we find that network address, everything else is so easy, guys. Trust me, like we know the first host is just +1. So 116, 64, 0. We'll leave this one alone because, let's just say this is the bigger brother of the next one. We have to leave him alone. We have to pick on the little brother first. So 1, that's the first host, just +1. Now I always like to find the next subnet. So the next subnet, we already did 64 plus 64. This is the next subnet. It's just going to be whatever, the double of that number is. So we can put 116, 128, 00. This is pretty much just the next network. And then, of course, we're going to subtract 1 from the next subnet. 116, we're going to subtract 1 from the next subnet, guys. So 116, so we have to subtract 1 from here. 127, so let's go here, -1. So you also have to remember, I kind of forgot to mention this, but just remember, that we're finding all these numbers, we're finding the network with the magic numbers and all that other stuff, but we have to remember that, what the last IP is, the last number we can use ever is 255. That's the max we can go. We can't ever have an IP address with 256, never in our lives, because if you add all of these ones up, these are the max number of ones you can have. It's going to be 255. So you have to remember that. That's how you're going to find and remember, like, the broadcast, the last host. Just remember the broadcast is the very last of the last. You can't assign this to any host ever. It's going to be the last of the last. So 255.255. We're going to, assign all the hosts. This is going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to go up all the way to 255. Then this will go up to 1. Then, the next range is going to be 1 all the way up to 255. And this is going to get to 2, so forth and so forth. Hopefully, I explained that well. I didn't even check this one. Check. And then last host is just this -1. But yeah, hopefully I explained this well. We didn't even check that. Let me put this. Hopefully I explained myself well, guys. Please comment if you have any questions. Let me know. Let me know if I need to improve my teaching style for you guys. I try to explain things the way I think about it, but I hope this wasn't too complicated. I will make another video, of course, about this, teach you guys some other stuff too. But yeah, thank you for watching. Peace out, guys.